Okay, this is Insane Sam, and I'm about to take you on my top 10 favorite Route 66 restaurants. I'm also going to take you to some honorable mention places. Now, I don't care if the restaurants I go to are particularly fancy, but I do want the food to be good. So my top 10s range between the very nice to the very casual. Of course, I like places with a bar, but that's not required. Number 10 is Richie's Real American Diner in Victorville, California. This place has been around for over 30 years, but it looks like it's been there forever. It's a classic diner with black and white tile floors. It's got turquoise leather booths, and it's got all the stuff diners are supposed to have. Plus, they smoke their own hams, turkeys, and other meats. This is a great place to have breakfast or lunch before heading over Cajon Pass on your way to LA. Number 9 is the White Fence Farm in Romeoville, Illinois. The White Fence Farm has been around since the 1920s, and they claim to have the best chicken dinners in the world. Now, I don't know if this is really the best chicken in the world, but I don't recall ever having any better chicken than at the White Fence Farm. The special is a fried half chicken. It's served with all the pickled beets, creamy bean salad, coleslaw, and cottage cheese you can eat, which for me is none of any of that stuff. But you can also get all the apple fritters you can eat, and those things are fantastic. The place has seating for 1,200, and for Easter, Mother's Day, and other big weekends, they fill it for several seatings. The place has a lot of interesting antiques, including several pristine vintage cars and motorcycles. Number 8 is Romos in Holbrook, Arizona. Romos is a small southwestern Mexican place. Everything's made to order, so sometimes it takes a while for the food to come out. It's not fancy, but sure is good. Number 7 is the Danbar Steakhouse in Kingman, Arizona. The Danbar is in a Wild West looking 1930s building. In the 1950s, the place was changed to a gas station, and in the 1960s, it was a bar. Now it's one of the best restaurants in Kingman. The place got its name when the owner told his wife he wanted to open a bar. She said, "We don't need a damn bar." Today, the Danbar is a family-oriented steakhouse. There's a large bar area with pool tables, and customers are welcome to eat at the bar. There's a separate restaurant section. Number 6 is the Big Texan Steak Ranch in Amarillo, Texas. The deal is that if you can eat a 72-ounce steak, a baked potato, a shrimp cocktail, a salad, and a dinner roll in an hour, you get it all for free. A small chick ate 3 of them in under 20 minutes. That's not a mistake. She really ate 3 72-ounce steaks in 20 minutes. For the mortals, they have regular-sized steaks, and they're pretty good. They serve beer made from their own microbrewery, and they have their own motel. Number 5 is the Ariston Cafe in Litchfield, Illinois. The Ariston Cafe often tops Route 66 restaurant ratings. It was founded in Carlinville, Illinois in 1924. It moved to Litchfield in 1929, and it's been in its current location since 1935, so this is a real Route 66 deal. The food's good, and has a varied menu with steak, seafood, southern food, Italian, and Mexican food. Number 4 is The Shed in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The Shed's a block off Santa Fe's plaza, and it's in a 600-year-old building. It serves Southwestern-style Mexican food, which for sure is different than Tex Mex. There's always a line to get in, but you can get on a list, and they'll give you a pager. So you can take the pager with you, go hit some bars, and get buzzed when they want you to come back to eat. The thing to get is the enchiladas with the Christmas chili. That's enchiladas with half red and half green chili, so it looks like a Christmas tree. Number 3 is Lou Mitchell's in Chicago. Lou Mitchell's has been on Route 66 since a year before Route 66 was commissioned. It's the traditional place to have breakfast before heading out of Chicago on Route 66. The food's first rate and plentiful. They give free milk duds to the chicks. Number 2 is the Missouri Hick BBQ in Cuba, Missouri. When I first went to the Missouri Hick, I didn't have any big expectations, and I thought it'd be a pretty run-of-the-mill place. But boy, was I wrong. Turns out they won an award for having the best barbecue in Missouri, and they earned it. They have the best pulled pork and ribs I've ever eaten, and I always eat there if I'm anywhere nearby Cuba. Number 1 is Wilder's in Joplin, Missouri. Wilder's is Joplin's oldest restaurant. It's a former 1920s speakeasy and steakhouse that survived Joplin's 2011 tornado. The original owner had a painting of his wife and himself hanging in the restaurant. He found out that she was cheating on him, so he had the painting redone and just had her painted out of the thing. The painting's still hanging in the bar. It has a classic neon sign that can be seen from blocks away. It has some of the best onion soup I've ever had, and they have the best steaks around. Okay, so that's the top 10, and here's some honorable mentions. The Old Log Cabin Inn in Pontiac, Illinois was on the original 1926 alignment of Route 66. But when they rerouted Route 66 to go in back of the restaurant, they jacked the whole place up and spun it around so Route 66 would still go by the front door. The Palms in Atlanta, Illinois is in an old bus station. They make a bunch of homemade pies every day. Now this place recently was sold, so I'm not sure it's the same as it was the last time I was there. Wheezy's Roadhouse in Hamel, Illinois was an Al Capone hangout. Today it's a family place with a Route 66 theme. B. Donovan's in Pond, Missouri is a modern restaurant with a nice bar, but it's inside the 1928 Big Chief Motel. Frisco's in Cuba, Missouri is the nicest restaurant in Cuba. It's a steak place, but it has a lot of other things on the menu, and the bar stays open late. The El Rancho Grande in Tulsa, Oklahoma has good Tex Mex food. They also have good margaritas. The Rock Cafe in Stroud, Oklahoma has been a Route 66 staple for decades. It was built from stone that was mined while they were constructing Route 66. Pop's in Arcadia, Illinois is a gas station and convenience store. It has a giant pop bottle sculpture in the front. The restaurant's diner-style food. Jack's Barbecue in War Acres, Oklahoma is just a barbecue joint, but it's first rate. The Midpoint Cafe in Adrian, Texas is supposed to be the midpoint between Chicago and Santa Monica. The restaurant's known for its ugly crust pies. Roosters in Vega, Texas is a real diamond in the rough. It has fantastic Mexican food. It's a local hangout, and the locals are friendly and welcome to out-of-towners. They don't have a bar, but they have cold beer and excellent margaritas. The place is almost a shack made out of an old garage. Russell's Travel Center in Endy, New Mexico is a convenience store and diner. There's also an antique car museum with lots of Route 66 artifacts. La Ventana in Grants, New Mexico. That's a good place. Now nobody goes to Grants for fine dining, but La Ventana is a pretty good place. It's the local favorite. The Turquoise Room in Winslow, Arizona is the restaurant inside the La Posada Hotel. It's an eclectic place for a town like Winslow, but it's popular. Better get a reservation if you want to go there. The Milta Cafe in San Bernardino, California has been serving good Mexican food for decades. The Magic Lamp in Rancho Cucamonga is an upscale place with offerings from steak to seafood. They got a nice cocktail lounge in there too. Smitty's in Pasadena is a fairly upscale place, but it still is kind of casual. The food ranges from fancy to comfort food. I usually get the meatloaf and mashed potatoes. So there you have it. There's my top 10 restaurants and a bunch of honorable mentions. Eat up.